I'm here to show you today about how to prepare wood lath so that you can get your plaster in on your walls. I've seen a lot of videos and they explain how to put the plaster on. There's two that are my favorite. One is Plaster for Beginners and the other is Kirk Giordano. I'll leave those links down below. But for the plaster, they always talk about how to put the plaster on, but no one ever talks about how to prepare the lath, the wood lath, for putting the plaster on. So I'm going to show you that today. So the first thing is removing all of the plaster that exists. And if you took off all your trim, that would really be a really good first step. I'm going to push my plaster in behind there, so we're not doing that. We've stripped the wood, but there's still a lot of remnants. So I want to get out as much of the plaster that I possibly can. Then once I do that, then you want to key your plaster. When you trowel your plaster on, the plaster squeezes between these slots and it mushrooms out. That's called keying. And so once you've broken the plaster off, what's left is these parts that are still stuck in here. So you want to take and key these out. I like using a 5-in-1 tool. It really works well right at the stud. And the other tool I use is this S-Twing pry bar, and I just bang it. And get all of the remaining plaster out. That's called keying. Get all of that out. Okay, so now what we have is we have damaged lath. And so what I use is this tool again, and I pry it out and take this broken pieces out. Okay. For these parts, I can either replace this entire piece of lath, or I can cut a piece to go from one stud to the other. And I really want to cut about in center, but already this one's been nailed. Nail it back tight. I'm going to use my multi-tool. If you don't have a multi-tool, there's a lot of other choices that you can make, like a chisel would be one. I use a number 4 penny nail. Then I find an old piece of lath that will fit in. Close. Mark it. Okay. Choices. One is to use the multi-tool. The other one would be to use a regular handsaw. what's important here is that you want to try and maintain that gap so that when you put the plaster in, it will key back up. So if you don't have any spare lath, there are places I've seen where they'll sell bundles of this. Typically comes in 4-foot lengths. Or I've taken some African mahogany. I think it has similar properties, and I just took and cut it to the same size and thickness, the same width and thickness as what I have existing on this project. And the reason why you want to use African mahogany is because it resists pests and moisture, and that's a big part of what this is. This is white cedar, and if you can get white cedar, that's great, but I wouldn't use regular cedar. It's a little bit more brittle, and if you are going to make your own, this is rough cut, and you don't want this to be smooth like a paint stick. I've seen people use paint sticks. I don't think that's a good idea because the plaster doesn't have anything to adhere to. So I just ran this on my bandsaw. I left it rough cut, and then that still allows some texture. If there's some irregularities, if you put it on a table saw, I can see that these original ones were cut on a table saw. I would actually maybe even try to skew your fence just a little bit out so that it would leave not a fine but a rough texture. And then the other part of this is that what makes this work so well is that cedar and mahogany are resistant to decay. So if you used a regular pine or poplar or even some other soft woods, then what you're going to end up with is rot in your wall. Probably red oak would be your worst choice, but you don't want that decay in your wall. So when plaster is properly applied, if you don't paint it, then one of its good properties are that it will absorb moisture and then release moisture. So if that's what's going to happen, then that means that this is going to be prone to having moisture. And so if you have moisture and it's locked into the wall and it's red oak, or if it's pine, it probably will mold, mildew, and rot. You want to stay away from that. So African mahogany, not Honduras mahogany. It's readily available across the country. So when you're nailing these lath on, I use 4D common sinkers. These are cement coated, but I'm doing this for your demonstration. I'll often use a staple gun, with like an 1.25 inch staple, and I'll just staple everything. As I'm going along, I want to make sure that everything's tight. But for those that aren't used to nailing every day, when you have a small nail, if you hold the nail like this, you will smash your hand. And so to prevent that, hold the nail between your fingers, and then you won't smash your thumbnails and your fingernail. This is USG's product, Plaster Bonder. And then we have another 5 gallons of Plaster Weld. So here, Rochelle's putting on the Plaster Weld. It's pink. It goes on pink.
And it dries orange.
So you can see where you had done previously. So everything's been coated with Plaster Weld here, and so the next step is we're ready for this to dry, and then we're going to go ahead and put our first coat of plaster on. That's it.